Hi, I'm Scott Braun. I'm the visiting assistant professor, area head in wood at VCU Arts Craft Material Studies Department. So in the last few years, we've all had this experience. We're having a perfectly pleasant conversation with a stranger, and somebody says something that makes you both or one of you go, oh, you're one of them. And then we instantly feel this you're an idiot, or you're one of those libtards, or whatever it is that you feel, and we hate each other. Well, I want to reverse that experience. Let me find a way to just teach you to make a spoon or a stool or a chair, and let's just talk. Not about politics, not about policy, but about being human, right? What must I do and what must I not do, right? Decency and shame. That's what I want to talk about. So historically, I am a furniture maker and designer, and later in life came to fine art. Once I was in a position where I didn't have to make a living with commissions, when suddenly I was allowed to make anything I wanted, I realized that I didn't really want to make furniture anymore. And so I went and got a master's degree in social practice, which is an art world way of saying I care about people, I care about interaction, I care about politics. And I come to that with a craftsperson's set of skills and work ethic, and try to connect to people through work, through labor, through making an object that's useful. Coming to Richmond from New York in the aftermath of Charlottesville, and now at a time when we're going to have a new monument by Kehinde Wiley. The monuments are really some source of pride in Richmond, some source of pride in heritage, a remembrance of some kind of family history or genealogy, but it's not. They didn't go up that way. They went up. All of Monument Avenue went up during the Jim Crow era as a way to intimidate the communities of color, as a way to separate, not as a way to celebrate anything. And they're beautiful. They're incredible examples of French equestrian sculpture. But they are statues of people who fought for the rights of slavery. But I don't want that to be the topic of conversation, right? I want to be able to have a conversation with somebody who says, no, I like the monuments. I want the monuments to stay. Because that's not what I'm after. I mean, sure, I'd like to see change. Sure, I'd like to see a world where they don't exist. But right now, I'd like to just see us be able to have conversations. Maybe let's just do it near the monument, know the monument is there, know the questions and the problems are there. But maybe let's not focus on that. Maybe let's start with, I don't hate you. Maybe let's start with, we're standing on the same rock and we have to breathe the same air. Now what? And I think people in general are comfortable with the idea of making objects and learning how to make objects. You know, I've been in situations where there was an altercation and someone looked down and said, are those steel toes? What do you do for a living? And suddenly we found ourselves talking about furniture and woodwork, and there's ways that we connect through the basics of our needs, right? I need a spoon, I need a chair, I need a table. And so being in the Craft Material Studies department gives me an opportunity to kind of really embrace that part of what I do and now use it as a social practice artist. A friend of mine who was teaching at the Yale School of Art called me and said, we're building a new sculpture building. We need somebody who knows how to make a shop. Will you come a couple times a month and help us build a shop? Sure, absolutely. And within, I'm going to say about 3 months, it went from please help us build a shop, to, hey, please stick around and teach the faculty how to use these machines, to, hey, please teach a seminar on making things. Hey, would you join the faculty? And the next thing I knew, I was a full-time faculty member at the Yale School of Art teaching Sculpture 101 and intermediate sculpture. And slowly I learned and they learned, and I realized that I'm good at teaching and I really enjoy teaching. So this thing that I'm kind of calling the Decency Project, for lack of a better term just yet, is trying to find a way for people to connect through work, through using your hands, right? So the idea here is that I go to institutions in and around Richmond that I believe are of different mind than someone like me. You know, hang out with me and I'll teach you how to make an object. Let's make a chair, let's make a spoon, let's make a stool. And while we're there, let's talk. What would I change if I had all the money and all the power in the world? Well, it's sort of a two-part answer, I guess. The goal here in what I'm trying to do is to get people to talk to each other, to get people to be able to connect. But my personal belief, my personal political sense is that we have to find ways to not think that the accumulation of wealth is progress. We have to find ways to support those of us who need it. We have to find ways that we all get health. We have to find ways that we all get, or health care rather. We have to find ways that we can all thrive. And we can't do that when some tiny percentage of people are hoarding everything. That's the dream, right? That's the sort of pie in the sky, if I had all the money and all the power. But, you know, I'm just some schmuck from New York City hanging out in Richmond. So what can I do? I can try to get people to talk to each other. We gotta start somewhere.